Children, in this video we are going to study about the modifications of the root. So already we studied the roots. They have primary function of absorption and anchoring. Apart from this, they also perform some additional function. For performing this additional function, sometimes these roots are modified. That modifications we are going to study now. So yeah, already we studied there are two types of root system, taproot system and the fibrous root system or the adventitious root system. So first let's study about the modification seen in the taproot system. So the first modification seen in taproot system is the storage roots. So here as we storage, the word we can understand in the roots what is happening, the food is getting stored there. So as a result, what is happening, the shape of the root is modifying there. So that we are going to study here. So storage roots, they are a storage taproot system. They are classified into three types. They are conical roots, fusiform roots, napiform roots. So let's first understand with the diagram, then we'll read it. So here you can see in the figure 3.4, the A diagram, the carrot you can see. In carrot, the shape of the root is becoming like a cone. Okay, so here the base of the root, it is broad, whereas as we come downwards, gradually it is narrowing down and it tapers at the end. Okay, and that is towards the apex, it is pointed. This type of arrangement, because of the storage of the food, this type of conical shape is seen. This type of roots, they are called as the conical roots. In the B diagram you can see the base of the root as well as the apex of the root, they are narrow, whereas in the middle region they are swollen, they are bulged. Such type of roots, they are called as the fusiform. So this is seen in the radish you can find. Next, in the C diagram you can see in the beetroot you can find the base is broad. Suddenly the root is tapering, becoming narrowing in the form of a tail. Such type of root, it is called as the napiform root. So here these are all the tap roots. Because of the storage of the food, these roots, the shape of the roots, they are modified. Based on that, they are given the three different terms. So let's understand the explanation here. Conical roots, these are the cone like, broad at the base and gradually tapering towards the apex. So here it is slowly the narrowing of the root is taking place towards the apex. So here example for that is Daucus carota, example that is the carrot. So conical root, because of the storage of the root, the tap root, they are in the shape of a conical root. Next, fusiform root. These roots are swollen in the middle and tapping towards both ends, that is in the base as well as towards the apex. They are narrowing, they are tapering. So example is Raphanus sativus, that is the radish. Third type is the napiform root. It is very broad at the apex and suddenly tapers like a tail at the base. So here you can remember in the conical root we studied gradual narrowing. Slowly the narrowing of the root is taking place. Whereas in the napiform, what is happening? Suddenly the root is narrowing in the form of a root in the tail. Then it is called as a napiform. Example is Beta vulgaris. Next, we are going to study about the breathing roots. Some mangrove plants like Avicennia, Rhizophora, Bruguiera develop special kind of roots, that is negatively geotrophic for respiration, because the soil becomes saturated with water and aeration is very poor. They have a number of breathing pores or pneumatophores or for exchange of gases. So here you can see example figure 3.4. The next taproot modification, that is the breathing roots. These roots, they are found in the plants which grows in the water. Okay, especially you can find in the mangrove regions. You can find the plants which are growing in the water. So here what is happening, the roots, they are always submerged under the water. Okay, so here what is happening, they cannot yeah, the ordinary roots, they are always under the water, so there is no exchange of gases is taking place because they are always filled with water and no oxygen is available there. So here what is happening, from the normal roots which are lying down, some erect roots, okay, they grow oppositively. As we studied, the roots they are positively geotrophic we have studied, but here these breathing roots they are negatively geotrophic, that is they grow against the gravity, they come out of the soil, okay, then they are called as the breathing roots, okay. A speciality of this breathing roots, they have small pores on their surface, they are called as the breathing pores, or they are called as the pneumatophores, okay. Okay, they are called as the pneumatophores, and they are meant for the exchange of gases. So here you can see the figure 3.4, the D diagram, you can see the plant which is growing under the soil. So here from there what is happening, from the underground lying roots, some erect roots, pillar like structures, they come out of the soil or come out of the water, okay. And these you can see that the negatively geotrophic structure which is coming out of the water, the enlarged diagram is given there, they are called they are having what, small pores are present there, they are called as the pneumatophores, okay. So small pores are seen, they are called as the pneumatophores or the breathing pores, they are helping in the exchange of gases, okay. So this is the modification which is seen in the taproot, okay. So two types of modification we have seen in the taproot, one is the storage root modification and the other one is the breathing roots. So example for breathing roots we have studied is the Avicennia. Next, you are going to study about the modification in the fibrous roots or adventitious roots. So, adventitious roots modification you can find under broadly three categories we are going to study. First one is the storage roots. Next is the mechanical support. Next is the vital functions. Okay. So, first one, storage roots. So, here also tuberous roots are present there. Here you can see the diagram, hypomia. Okay. So, here you can find in this roots, the roots are swollen without any definite shape. Okay, the roots here again in this fibrous adventitious roots, the food is stored there. As a result, the roots they are becoming swollen. Okay, they don't have any definite shape. So such type of roots they are called as what, the tuberous roots. These tuberous roots they are produced singly. They are not produced in clusters. Example here it is what, the Hypomia batatas. So here tuberous roots. These roots they are swollen without any definite shape. Tuberous roots they are produced singly. Example Hypomia batatas. Next is was the fasciculated root. These roots are in cluster from the base of the stem. Example Dahlia. So here you can see there are numerous roots. Okay, these adventitious roots they are swollen because of the storage of the food, and these swollen roots they are present in clusters. Then it is called as the fasciculated root. Example is in Dahlia. Next was the nodulous roots. In this type of root, swelling occurs only near the tip. Okay, so here in the adventitious roots, only at the tip of the roots they become swollen. Then it is called as the nodulous roots. Example, Marantha, that is arrowroot. Curcuma amada, that is mango ginger. Curcuma longa, that is turmeric. So here you can see in this diagram, Marantha, you can see the adventitious roots, only the tip of the root they are becoming swelled up. Then it is called as the nodulous root. Next, fourth type of root is the moniliform or beaded root. So these are the roots, they swell at frequent intervals. So this you can compare with a beaded chain, you can compare the beads. Okay, beads they are arranged on a thread. So regular, what is you can find there in the along the length of the adventitious roots, regular swelling is seen there at regular gaps. They are called as the moniliform or they are called as the beaded roots. These roots they swell at frequent intervals, giving them a beaded appearance. So here you can find in this the roots they at regular intervals they show the swelling, okay, which resembles the swelling resembles like the beads. So they are called as the moniliform or the beaded roots. Example is in vitis. Next is the annulated root. These roots they have a series of ring-like swelling. Okay, annulated root. So here there will be continuous, very close to each other. Swellings will be present in the regular interval, ring-like. Okay, So it's not a beaded, not a swollen region and a long distance, but it is just a ring is getting swelled up. Then it is called as the annulated root at regular intervals. Then it is called as the annulated, example psychotria. So here you can find the diagram is given here, the psychotria. So a ring like swellings are found at a regular intervals. Next, you are going to study about the mechanical support. So here, the adventitious roots, they provide support to the plants. Then they are called as the mechanical support. So they are also classified into prop root or pillar roots. So here you can see in the banyan tree. You all might have observed this. In the banyan tree, we have the huge trunks are there, and these trunks they spread to the vast area. So here, to give support to this huge trunks, what will happen, the aerial roots they arise from the nodes of these trunk, and these roots they grow vertically downwards towards the soil, and they give support to the plant. So such type of roots they are called as the prop roots, or they are called as the pillar roots. So here these roots they grow vertically downward from the lateral branches into the soil. Example, ficus Bengal halensis. So here banyan tree or Indian rubber. Next is the stilt or brace root. These are the thick roots growing obliquely from the basal nodes of the main stem. They provide mechanical support. This you might have seen in the rice. In the rice we can find, as well as in the sugar cane we can find. Okay, so here what is happening, from the lowest node of the lowest node which is near to the soil, from these roots from these stem nodal region of the stem, some obliquely or slantly growing roots are observed. So here you can see saccharum, sugarcane you can find. In the sugarcane, from the lowest node you can see the roots are coming down. Okay, they grow obliquely downwards, and they give support to the sugarcane. Then it is called as the stilt root, or they are also called as the brace root. Next type of root is the climbing roots. These roots are produced from the nodes of the stem which attach themselves to the support and help in climbing. To ensure the foothold on the support, they secrete a sticky juice in air, attaching the roots to the support. So here you can find in the money plant you can find, or in the pine, in this one beetle you can find. So here what is happening, these roots they are produced from the nodes of the stem, from the nodal region of the stem. These roots are comes out, and they attach themselves to the support and help them in climbing. So these roots they help in the climbing of these climbers over the support. Then it is called as the climbing roots, or it is also called as the clinging roots. Next is the buttress root. Here you can see in this huge tree there are some wooden plank like structure, wooden piece like structure which is growing from the lower region of the trunk. Okay, so for huge trees there are some roots which grow like a wooden piece which is kept as a support. They are called as the buttress root. In certain trees, broad plank-like outgrowth develops towards the base all around the trunk. They grow obliquely downwards and give support to huge trunks of trees. This is an adaptation for tall rainforest trees. Example, Bombyx ceiba, that is red silk cotton tree, Ceiba pentandra, and Deinonyx regia or Bombyx. So here you can see in this diagram also we saw certain trees broad plank like outgrowth. Plank means pieces, wooden pieces like outgrowth they develop from the base all around the trunk, and they grow obliquely downwards. Okay, and they give support to the huge trunk. Then these roots they are called as the buttress roots. Next we are going to study about the vital functions root. Vital functions means that is the plant for their survival they are producing such type of roots. So first one is the epiphytic or velamen root. So epiphytic, already we know epi, epi means outer, phytic means plant. So some plants they grow on other plants. Okay, So for their support, they give out a special type of roots. They are called as the velamen for their growth. So some epiphytic orchids develop a special kind of aerial roots which hang freely in the air. These roots develop a spongy tissue called the velamen. Now here in the epiphytic root, there are two types of roots are there. One is the clinging root and the other one is the hanging roots, or they are also called as the velamen. So here as we have studied, the epiphytic are the plants which grow on the surface of other plants. Okay, these epiphytic plants are not parasite. They only require a place to grow. They can photosynthesize and prepare their own food. So to hold the plant, they have one root. Okay, special root, they are called as the clinging root. So with the help of the clinging root, they hold the surface on which they are growing. Next they have the aerial root, that is they have the hanging roots which hang from the plant, and these roots, they have a special type of tissue that is called as the. So development roots we have studied. These roots they have a these are the hanging roots. They hang from the plant and they hang in the air. And these roots they have a special tissue that is called as the development. This tissue is sponge-like, so which absorbs the moisture from the atmosphere, and that moisture it is utilized by the plant for photosynthesis. So as we have already studied, these epiphytic plants, they are not parasite. They only require a place to grow. They can prepare their own food. So this velamen absorbs the required water for photosynthesis and they give to the plant. So such type of fruits, they are called as the velamen. They absorb the moisture from the surrounding air. Example, common example of this epiphytic plant is the vanda plant. Next is the foliar root. Roots produced from the veins or lamina of the leaf for the formation of new plant. They are called as the foliar roots. So that is, we have studied common example bryophyllum. Bryophyllum, we have seen that in the leaf margin there are notches are present there. In these notches, the buds are present there. So these buds, they they develop the roots. Such roots they are called as the foliar roots. So with the help of these roots, the new plant can be established there. Next is the sucking or pastoral roots. Now here, as we see that some roots, some plants, they cannot prepare their own food. They for the food or partially for the water, they depend on other plants. Then they are called as the sucking, and in such plants they are called as the parasites. Now these parasites, they have a special type of roots. They are called as the sucking roots, or they are called as the hostoria. So these roots, they are found in parasitic plants. Parasite, already we know, they are the organisms which live on other living organisms. So some plants which cannot photosynthesize, which cannot prepare their own food, or which cannot absorb the water, these plants, they grow over the other plant and they send out a special root like structure that is called as the hostoria. So these parasites, they develop adventitious roots from the stem which penetrate into the tissue of the host plant. So on which the support of the plant on which these plants are growing, these parasitic plants are growing, on the host they will send out these roots, and they will send these roots where to the vascular tissues, the xylem and the phloem, for sucking the water and sucking the nutrients there. So example for sucking or hostoidal roots are seen in the cuscuta. Cuscuta is a total parasite. It cannot prepare its own food. So for food as well as for water, they send out the hostoria which penetrates inside the xylem and the phloem. So from the xylem it will get the water, and from the phloem it will get the food. Next you can see next example is the viscum. Viscum is a partial parasite. They can prepare their own food, but only they require the water. So for the water they send out this hostoria which penetrate inside the xylem of the host plant, and they absorb the water and they can photosynthesize. Next type of modification seen in the adventitious roots is the photosynthetic or assimilatory roots. Roots of some climbing or epiphytic plants, they develop chlorophyll and turn green, which help in photosynthesis. So here in some plants, that is during the rainy season, or some adaptations are seen, that is these roots, they become green in color and they are able to photosynthesize. Such type of roots, they are called as the photosynthetic or assimilatory roots. So these are the various modification of the roots of both the taproot as well as the adventitious roots to perform some additional function for the plants. So with this, hope you have understood all the topics taught today. Thank you, children.